This is Bruce Castle, located in Stirlingshire by the town of Cowie, but it wasn't always known by that name. It was originally called the Tower of Carnock. Though in the early 1400s, possibly by Sir William de Erth, who was known to have owned it and the surrounding estate between 1430 and 1439. Upon his death, the estate was split amongst his 7 daughters. This estate included some workers' houses and was rich in coal. Coal, of course, was something that nobody cared about, as it was the 1400s at the time. There were many different owners of different portions of the estate over the next 130 years. As the 7 parts of the estate changed hands frequently between nobles and other influential people at the time. Among these influential owners was Robert Bruce of Auchenbilly, who owned the tower in the year 1512. This Robert Bruce was a descendant of Robert V. Bruce, who was King of Scotland wed to independence almost 200 years earlier, though that is an irrelevant side story to this. Our Robert Bruce made many repairs and alterations to the tower, truly turning it into Bruce's Castle. Or at least into a Bruce's Castle. Throughout Scotland there are many places by the name of Bruce's Castle, owing to the fact that the family were very wealthy and influential at the time, and quite popular for some reason too. Among these many Bruce's Castles, there appears to be one in Dominica, in the Caribbean. A resort town even. This could be the subject of my next video, budget depending of course. In 1548, and on another separate part of the estate, Robert Drummond built a notable property called Carnock House, about a quarter mile that way, I think. This article from the Falkirk Herald in 1938 explains some of the house's history and includes a picture taken at the time. The article also includes information on 2 separate choirs visiting town at the same time, how to turn your house into a bomb shelter, and experiments on vitrification of forts. Robert Drummond was Master of Work to the Crown of Scotland from 1579 to 1583. This meant he was to manage repairs of palaces and castles around the country. Although records show he completed minimal work, probably because he had his own little side project in Carnock House. Robert Drummond died in 1592 and passed his portion of the estate, including the house, to his son Alexander Drummond, who in 1608 bought the castle from Robert Bruce's descendant John Bruce. This united the estate, including both the castle and house, under Alexander Drummond. In 1634, the estate in its entirety was sold to Sir Thomas Nicholson. His family were lawyers in Edinburgh. Nicholson made many additions to the house, including a grand entrance hall. Despite all the attention being paid to Carnock House, Bruce Castle was crumbling. And after another 150 years being passed between the descendants of William Nicholson, the castle was in ruins by 1785. If only Robert Drummond had still been around. The estate was still viable despite the loss of the castle due to increasing demand for coal. And in 1905 it was sold to the Alloa Coal Company. It would mine here until 1935 when they in turn sold it to the Carnock Company. The Carnock Company were an ironworks in nearby Falkirk who had produced the famous carronade 150 years earlier. Due to intense coal mining in the area during World War I, the land had become at risk of subsidence, cave-ins. No longer safe for residents, Carnock House was demolished in 1941. The Carnock Company preserved some parts of the house, including the original front door and some painted ceiling boards donated to the Smith Institute, now the Sterling Smith Art Gallery and Museum. Fragments of 17th century ceiling mouldings were brought to Canmore House in the Bowness. Historic Environment Scotland have the house's oak ceiling beams dated to 1589, which are inscribed with "Gif that in vertau thou takest ony pain," and "Naked I cam into the world." Now the workers' houses that were at Castle side are gone. The immediate area has been turned into farmland. Nearby there's wind turbines, a modern train line, and another castle that shows how Bruce Castle would have likely looked 600 years ago. Queen Castle. Built around the same time and less than a mile away, Queen Castle is still in use today as a hotel and an events venue. Well, I sure would have liked an invite to see what kind of events took place here 600 years ago.